Hey guys, it's me, Hunter Gunslinger here, back with a brand new video. I know I haven't been following the schedule as usual. It's just that, you live in South Florida and there's a lot of thunderstorms in the area. So you're trying to make sure that your PC and, of course, your PS4 console won't get affected by the lightning being struck somewhere in the area. So that's why I haven't been playing on my PS4 as often, and of course live streaming as I normally should, because I don't want to take any chances of everything getting fried and next thing you know, fire tends to break out. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of things that were happening in this week's article for Bungie for October 4th. I didn't cover ones last week because I thought, last week's article was kind of basic and I think everybody kind of read it. This week's article is going to be a little bit more different because it's talking about a lot of things going ahead to October and going ahead in December. So a lot has been happening. Of course, they were talking about the sleeper supplement will grant 2 shots down from 4, because I know a lot of people were mentioning and talking about the sleeper supplement being very used a lot in Gambit. And even themselves in this article were mentioning about Gambit having some feedback from a lot of the community. A lot of people have some issues when it comes to Gambit, when it comes to matchmaking. I don't know if you guys ever noticed about Gambit. Gambit is more like a team type based game mode. Some of you might agree or might disagree me about that, and that's completely understand. That's the whole point about having feedback and having conversations with you guys, is to see what you guys were talking about Gambit. Big time content creators that I follow a lot, because you gotta listen to them, because a lot of people said they're the ones that always put issues in the state of the game. They were saying that Gambit does feel like a team-based type of feel game instead of course, solo type game for a lot of people. And myself, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna judge anything. Yes, I'm a solo player myself when it comes to Crucibles, Iron Banners, and other activities. But other stuff, I would do different game modes and go on from there. Me personally, Gambit does feel a little bit like how I was putting in a sense, a team type based type of game mode. It don't feel like a solo based type of game mode. So a lot of people were questioning about the solo queries for Gambit, and that's completely understandable. The solo queries can be a little bit timid at this point, but it is what it is. It's kind of hard to kind of like give my honest opinion on it, because me myself, I will find some clan members, and of course you guys that want to join and play with me, I will find you guys and we can do Gambit ourselves. But it depends on the person who plays solos a lot. It depends on their opinion, how they feel on it. Me personally, I can't give my honest opinion on it. Yes, it does feel like team based type of feel with it. And yes, maybe they need to have some solo qualities to it. But when you look at the genre of games nowadays, they're going to more team-based friendly type of styles, because everybody wants to play with their friends. When you look at multiplayer is all about playing with multiple people. That's the whole base about multiplayer. I think a lot of people misconcept those type of things. Now, other games like Call of Duty or whatever, maybe you can do those solo qualities and maybe you could do fine in those games. But nowadays, a lot of these games are pushing more like team-based type of feel to it, and you can connect with your friends. And then a lot of you guys, if some of you guys never really understand, you always ask for cross-play with PlayStation and Xbox. So you solo players that said, oh yeah, they need to have some cross-play with it, you're understandable, you want to play with your friends, so they're going to team-based type of feel. So with Gambit, it's a discussion that we have to discuss further on to the story. I don't want to talk about Gambit throughout this whole video process, but a lot of people have some honest opinions about it. Now, Destiny will have its update 2.0.5. They will have some updates very soon when it comes to rebalancing, slightly increased sword damage in PvE to address players' feedback. I kind of noticed the swords were they weren't as powerful like they were in previous times. Of course, the activity when it comes to the quest line to that exotic weapon, a lot of people say I botched names, so everybody knows that exotic weapon that I'm talking about. They were talking about that, talk about the Prime Evil not getting into the activity quick enough or fast enough, so they were talking about that. And then the most biggest conversation that a lot of people were talking about were adding Masterwork cores as rewards for the Spider Wanted bounties and General Scraper bounties. So that was somebody mentioned that put Masterwork cores as a bounty for the gunsmith or something like that to make the Masterwork cores easy to have access. But the spider sells the Masterwork cores. I don't know what they're going to be doing with the gunsmith in the future, but I feel like if you want to add more Masterwork cores inside the game and you want people to depend on the economy in the game, you can have two sources to get the Masterwork cores. Have the gunsmith sell like a lot of Masterwork cores for a bounty or something, and then of course doing it for the spider, having like bounties or something in that activity. That would be interesting to kind of do in the near future, but we'll just have to wait and see how everything works. Developing and fixing issues where the team were defeated the ascended prime evil servitor, but the opposing team received credit for that kill. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter mentioning that. A couple of my friends that were playing it mentioned that too. And then, of course, they were talking about, future stuff and that's coming up ahead. Now, of course, we have the Festival of the Lost coming on October 6th of 2018. And that is when the update, I think they're having about like 2 updates or just 1 update. They're having 2 updates, actually, 2.0.4 and 2.0.5. So they're going to have 2 updates. The 2.0.5 is going to happen on October 30th, 2018, and then 2.04 is going to happen on October 6th. So they're going to have issues on there. And then they were talking about, before we go to talk about the Festival of the Loft, they were talking about 2.0.4 fixing bugs where prime Ingrams are going straight to the postmaster at the end of the Christmas matches, where they will now show up alongside at the end of the match as rewards. I kind of seen that throughout when I was playing the Crucible. I kind of noticed that my prime Ingrams were going to the postmaster, so they're gonna fix that issue, thank God. And then of course they were talking about different things like the expansion packs, the story campaign feeding to the last hobby. We're setting up changes everything from the way you collect your gear to the way you tackle the in-game. So they're gonna be having some future updates in the near future, between October, November, and of course the annual pass in October, with the Black Armory, a brand new raid layer that's going to be happening in December. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So we're going to be set for the next couple of weeks or so, in the next couple of months. A lot of people have been mentioning about the in-game content not really happening a lot in the previous years, like in Destiny 2 and Destiny 1. A lot of people did mention about the in-game content being a little slight dab, not on point as they thought they would be. Like the Tanky King was really a big expansion pack, and then it kind of like slowly died down a little bit. They had like a couple of updates here and there, but you can kind of tell like the game was slowly downgrading a little bit. And then of course you had Rise of Iron, which was pretty interesting too. That was a really great DLC, and of course the raid was awesome. I love the raid. And then of course we're going to talk about further down the road, so I don't want to talk about that further, but you guys kind of get my drift when we're talking about the whole in-game content. But now Destiny, Bungie, the developers there, do understand that their community really wants this game to be, how I put in a sense, stay alive and active in a few years to come, when of course Destiny 3 comes out. Me and other couple of friends, we were talking about this yesterday. One of my good friends that bought Destiny 2 Forsaken because they saw it like, wow, this was a really good expansion pack. And we were talking like, yeah, I had like a couple of friends, we were talking about it a couple of nights ago. We were talking about the same thing, that of course they're going to make another Destiny 3. Of course they're going to make another Destiny. So they were talking about like, yeah, I think there's going to be another Destiny 3 in the near future. I'm like, yeah, and I think Destiny 3 is going to be, I think it's going to be on point. That's how I feel about how this game is going to. And they see the whole, like, how I put in a sense, the whole community really came together when they were watching the raid. Me myself was like intensely in 5 watching that, staying up till 5-6 a.m. to see who's going to win that. So Destiny sees that the community is really coming together, and they really like these different challenges, the Shadow Throne, everything each week, the Ascendant challenge changing each week, and having like different boss fights and different story modes. So they see that the development side of it needs to be fixed and needs to be changed in the near future. Another thing is the Festival of the Lost. I don't want to drive anything in there. But the Festival of the Lost is going to be something very different. They said that welcome to October. This month we'll be home to another Festival of the Lost. Begins on October 6th, 2018 with a celebration of lost heroes and a new challenge to tackle. It includes a costume party and you're all invited. It ends with a quest to solve a murder. But be on the lookout next week for a full reveal of what we're going to be scaring up this season. So they're going to have a full reveal next week, Tuesday probably, because it said a full reveal what that's going to be happening. And then the interesting part about it is it says it ends with a quest of solving a murder. So we're going to be solving a murder in Destiny 2. And that's really great that Destiny's doing like different activities to keep their fan base and their community kind of active throughout the months. Because, you know, you go one day like, okay, I'm going to do some Crucibles. And then you look at your map. There's so many activities to do, like, you know, heroic events that gives you powerful Ingrams and this and that. So much different things to do to level up your power level, and you're trying to figure out what you want to do. Me myself, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do some Crucibles, but back in my mind I want to do Gambit. It's like there's so many activities to do in this game. You're like, oh man, this is going to be great. So this is going to be really awesome, or they're going to be happening for the near future. And hopefully that everybody is satisfied, because, you know, there's people that want all these activities, but at the end of the day, they're never satisfied. So that's a problem with the gaming world and the gaming community nowadays. And I think a lot of gaming developers are having trouble with that, because you have this one side that's like they're not satisfied, and then there's another side that's very satisfied with everything you're doing, and then there's another side that's like completely bashing you in this game. It's completely in all of this chaos at this point that people just complains about the littlest thing. And I kind of noticed that in Destiny 2 Forsaken, people are still not satisfied with this, they're not satisfied with that. I'm like, they're giving you what you asked for. You wanted a harder challenge. You wanted something more challenging to do each week. They give you that each week, and you're still not satisfied with anything. So what else can Bungie can do to make you happy? If you're not satisfied in the game, there is a billion other games you can play to make your satisfaction more happy. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm more than welcome and try my best to answer the questions the bestly as I can. I hope you guys did like this video. Hit that thumbs up if you did. Hit that dislike button if you didn't. I will try my best to make the video more funner the next time I post. In the meantime, hope you guys have a beautiful weekday and a weekend. If you don't see me Saturday and Sunday posting any videos, of course, we're going to be going back onto our live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tomorrow, so make sure you guys check that out, and I will catch you guys in my next post.